Hi, this is M. Haritha, 4th year CSC, Adi Shankara Institution of Technology. Register number is 578. Math Tech Talk video. Understand the role of Android application components. To understand the role and functionality of different components that makes up an Android applications, you want to create a new Android applications and study each of its components. Let's start by creating an application that promotes the user to enter a name and displays a welcome message into return. To create an application, so open Eclipse and close files, new a Android application projects, or click the Android project created icons on the ellipse toolbar. You see a dialog box as shown in figure 2.1. In the application name box, enters the name of the Android project as welcome message. Then the project name is automatically assigned, which is the same as the application name by default. Begin a unique identifier. The package name is com Android lead sheet welcome message. From the Build SDK drop down, select Android 4.1 as the target platform. Select the Create Project in Workspace checkbox to create the project files at the workshop location. To the Create Customers Launchers icon checkbox is selected by default and enables a use to define the icon of your application. Click the Next button to move to the Next dialog box. The Next dialog box promotes us to select whether we want to create an activity. Select the Create Activity checkbox on the blank activity option from the list and then click Next. The Next dialog box asks us to enter information about the newly created activity. Name the activity Welcome Message Activity. The layouts, file names and title name automatically change to default the new assigned activity name. The layout's name becomes activity welcome message and the title of the application also change to welcome message activity. Click the Finish button after supplying the required information. Application components are essentially ones which specify the building blocks of an application. Interlink each components use acts an enter point to application. The components may basic components of Androids are activity, services, broadcasts, receivers, contents providers. Activity. An activity represents a single screen which a user interface in short activity performance action on the screen. For example, an email application might have one activity that shows a list of new emails, another activities to compose an email, and another activity for reading emails. If an application has more than one activity, then one of them should be marked as the activity that is presented when the application launched. An activity is implicated as subclasses of activity class as follows. Public class as main activity, extend activities. Services. A services is a component that runs in the background to perform long-running operations. For example, a services might play music in the background while the user is in a different applications, or it might fetch data over the network without block the interaction with the activity. A services is implemented as a subclass of services class as follows. Public class by services, extend services. Background class recorders. Background receivers simple respond to background messages from another applications or from the system. For example, applications can also infinity background to let other applications know that some data has been downloaded to device as it available for them to use. So this is broadcast receiver who will interrupt this communication and which interrogation applications actions. A broadcast receiver is implemented as a subclass of board receiver class, and each message is broadcast as an interrupted object. Public class my receiver extend broadcast receiver. Public wide on receiver contacts intact. Constant providers. A constant provider component supplies data from one application to other and requests are handled by the method of the content resolvers class. The data may be stored in the file system, the database, or somewhere else entire. A context provider is implemented as a subclass of constant providers class and must important a standard set of APIs that enables the other applications to perform transaction. Public class by constant providers extend constant providers. Public wide on creations. Thank you.